You have to be aware that the number of the accounts, 2 million, is global number. So it's not only in Europe, it's also in Africa and Asia. Since Luno actually started in 2013 and we set up the company in Singapore, our first market was South Africa. Since actually in Africa, the turnover on cryptocurrency is the highest all over the world, which is kind of a curiosity because people simply don't trust the fiat currency. They don't trust Rand because it goes down every year. So that's why they are looking for another investments. Then we opened Asia, so we are also quite big in Indonesia and Malaysia. Our other markets, it's also Nigeria, and now we are expanding to other African countries. We entered Europe last year on February 2017. So actually on European market, we are quite new, but we grow really fast. So for a start, we focused on 7 biggest markets. We checked our data, we saw how many people actually buy cryptocurrencies on particular markets in European Union. And our key 7 markets is UK, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, France, Poland, and Lithuania. Why Lithuania actually? It's a really small market when we think about number of customers, but it grows extremely fast. So if we are talking about the turnover in Lithuania, in the whole crypto industry, it's 10 million euro per day. Guys, this is amazing. The estimations are that 100,000 people in Lithuania actively trade with cryptocurrency. So this is also an incredible number as for emerging small country. So that's why when we saw that actually even in our numbers, we see that Lithuania already overperformed Italy or France, we asked ourselves, what the hell is happening? What is special in that country? So then we started to actually dig deeper. What is the reason why actually emerging markets, because it's not only about Lithuania, it's also about Romania or Poland, grow a little bit faster than developed markets like UK or France or Italy. And we found out that actually people are more willing to risk, they are more open for the innovations, and they dig deeper, so they are looking for the information. For example, number of searches in the internet, information about the cryptocurrencies in Lithuania is way higher than, for example, in Romania, which has a 20 million people, not 3 million, and also like way higher than, for example, in Ireland, which is also really developed country, or like in France, where people are quite cautious about cryptocurrency. So we see that Lithuanian peoples are really early adopters, and also the regulations here are quite favorable. So people also hear a lot about cryptocurrency. We conduct the research in June this year, actually June and July this year, and we found out that 80% of the Lithuanian citizens heard about crypto and the blockchain itself. 80% of people are aware that something is happening, that blockchain, Bitcoin exists. For example, in France, it's not even 50%. Even in Netherlands, it's below 50%. Here, because this is quite small city, it's quite easy to educate people. Just they hear the name, they ask questions, so probably this is the reason. But the problem is with the ownership. So 80% of the people, they know what cryptocurrency is, they know what blockchain is, but only 3.8% of the population actually owns crypto. So we can discuss why actually it's like that. It's about the purchasing power, that Lithuania also is still developing market. But interesting fact that among all those people who own cryptocurrency, the average value of the transaction is quite high. So for buy, it's around 400 euro. For sell, it's around 600 euro. So if you compare that values to other markets, it's almost the same like Italy and France. It's more or less 500 in those countries. In UK, it's around 900. But among the Eastern European markets, actually Lithuania has the highest volume of the transaction. For example, in Poland, it's 300. In Romania, it's below 200. So the difference is quite huge. So Lithuania is kind of a phenomenon, probably because media here, they talk a lot about the Bitcoin, about the blockchain, and everyone are interested, what's that? So a couple of years ago, everyone who invested in cryptocurrency, it was kind of a geek. So someone who's spending a lot of hours in front of the computer. And now the profile of the cryptocurrency owner has changed Completely. This is the average person who buys cryptocurrency. The average person who just wants to go for a beer with a friend and say, I own Bitcoin, I'm cool. It's kind of a trend and lifestyle, I believe. So that's why also when we noticed that our target group changes, we actually completely changed the usability of our system, our brand. So previously Luno was called BitX, so very technical name, like almost everyone in the industry. But then we changed, we realized that the target group changed, so we said, okay, we have to be a little bit more friendly, a little bit more easier. So that's why we actually created exchange and a wallet. Wallet, it's for entry-level customers who just want to try what the cryptocurrency is, be a part of that revolution, and just make a transaction, test transaction. In Luno, you can buy Bitcoin on Ethereum from €1. So you can invest €1 and actually have the piece of Bitcoin, your own Satoshi. So we just wanted to show people how easy it is. And when they will be mature enough, they can actually start investing on exchange. So as I mentioned, in Europe, we actually started from 7 key markets, but we already noticed that it's not enough. Yeah? So everything is happening so fast that we need to invest especially in marketing, PR and education on other markets. So definitely it will be also Romania, Estonia. So all the Baltic countries like Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia, we started to treat as a huge opportunity for us because people here, they really want to be a part of it, and also we can learn a lot from them. So we know what are the expectations, and this is actually the key. So we see that there is a difference between Eastern Europe and Western Europe, between Baltic countries and, for example, Nordics. So we want to localize our product. So we have a global solution now, which actually works in Asia, Africa and Europe, but still you need to localize products. So for example, it's about the payments method. It's about dedicated features. So for example, in Lithuania, people want to set the rules. So they want to set the rules, okay, please buy a Bitcoin if the price will hit. So they want to automatize the process. For example, in Romania, people want to control the process and they don't need that feature. So we just try to catch the nuances and localize particular markets, localize our products to particular markets. And this is our strategy to win Eastern European region, and not only Eastern European region. I believe the same applies to Netherlands or Belgium. So also we just try to hire the local people, cooperate with local entities like Blockchain Center Vilnius, and learn about the market. You have to remember that in Europe we focused on e-wallet. So actually over 96% of our assets are in a cold storage. So what is happening on wallet and exchange is just a small percentage of our assets. And why? So over 90% of the people who buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, they actually are hodlers. So in our language, so those people who just buy and keep the cryptocurrency, wait till the price will change. So there is no need to actually keep everything in a hot storage, and also to keep everything in a cold storage, it's way safer. So if anything will happen, we are sure that we will be able to give the money to our customers. We actually keep everything in 6 different vaults around the world. So we just automatically split the Bitcoin addresses for 6 parts, and we just put it to the vaults in 6 different cities all over the world. So it's almost impossible to actually get it without being our CEO and a couple of other people. Yes, this is the most common questions. Everyone asks about it. Okay, so Bitcoin for now in Lithuania, it's almost 90%. As far as I remember from our research, it's around 85% of the market. Then we have Ethereum, 46%. Then we have a Dash, Lisk, and then Ripple follows in Lithuania, because in other countries Ripple is on a 3rd place. So when we started to think about other cryptocurrencies, we claimed, okay, so almost 90% of the market is with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there is no need to actually add other currencies. So that's why the strategy was like that, just to focus on the 2 biggest, most important cryptocurrencies, which actually lead the market. But of course, we are completely open for other currencies. If we will see that on a particular market, some other currency is really required, then probably we will add it. It's not a rocket science. We can do that in a couple of weeks. The issue is that there is so many currencies. It's almost 2,000 currencies, cryptocurrencies in the world. And sometimes it's really difficult to say which currency is good, which currency actually is not, I don't want to say scam, but it's not reliable, or maybe it will disappear from the market. So that's why we care about our customers, we care about their security. We just want to give them products which are 100% secure. It's always about decreasing the fees. It's like with the payments. I'm not sure if you remember, but 10 years ago, in PayPal, we were paying like 6-7%. In PayU, so in Eastern Europe, we are paying like 3-4%. Now it oscillates around 0.5, sometimes even lower if we are talking about solution like Software, where it's 0.1. So everything goes down, but still the companies earn the money because it's the scale effect. If you have a lot of transactions, you can minimize your fees. And also, it's not about earning only on the fees. So you can give additional services like insurance, like even loans, etc., and you can earn on the things around it. This is how exactly the banking system works. The banks don't earn on a fees with the transfers. They earn on all the services which they provide to the customer, like among the account. So this is the direction which I believe will happen with cryptocurrency, especially that the whole idea of the cryptocurrency is actually to become a new financial system. We became profitable last year in February, so that's a huge milestone for our company. We launched Luno in 2013. Since that time, we crossed 3 billion euro turnover. So it's quite a lot. Definitely, we see the trend that people are more and more interested in other cryptocurrencies. So we have to remember that, for example, Bitcoin and Ethereum, there are two different cryptocurrencies. A lot of people think that it's the same, just a different name on the different founder. But Bitcoin was created as a storage for value, kind of a digital gold. That's why a lot of people actually call Bitcoin as a digital gold. Ethereum was created from a different reason. It was more about the smart contracts, more about becoming a payment system. And a lot of different cryptocurrencies, they are actually created from different reasons. So we have to educate people and tell them, if you want to invest in this one, this is the purpose of that cryptocurrency. It's not a pure investment. It's, for example, to sign the agreements, etc., etc. And this is already happening. So people ask questions, what is the difference between particular cryptocurrency, what I can do with it? And also the companies, they actually changed their approach. They started to invest a huge amount, so that's why OTC is so popular now, because they just start to invest a huge amounts in the cryptocurrency and they want to diversify their wallets. So they don't want to have everything in a Bitcoin. They ask questions, what we can do with Ethereum, how we can actually sign the contract, or should we put our database in a blockchain because it will be safer, it will be quicker, it will be faster, blah, blah, blah. So now people started to dig deeper and they understand that blockchain and cryptocurrency, it's not only Bitcoin an investment tool, it's way bigger thing. It's something what can help them to run business, earn more money, not only to store the value. Also some trends which are visible. So this is something which you can think that it's quite obvious, but I always repeat it because people think that the revolution is happening in Western countries. But no, the real revolution is happening in emerging markets. So now we see a huge movement in Africa, in Asia. People actually start to make a transaction with Bitcoin to run a businesses based on the blockchain technology. You know, if I remember the exact numbers, so for now we have more or less 2.6 billion people who lives in emerging markets. So it's 30% of the population. Up to 2025, it will be 50% of the whole population will be from emerging markets. It's obvious, yeah, people just, they have more children, etc. The customers database grows. So those people are the future, and we have to give them opportunity to use the financial system. Most of the people on the emerging markets, especially in Africa or Asia, they are underbanked. They don't have access to the financial system. Blockchain solved the problem. So end of the day, we don't have a choice. We have to give them what we produce, and it will be based on a blockchain, because this is the cheapest and the fastest way. Okay, so on our roadmap, we have 30 new markets for now, 30 new markets for upcoming 12 months. I'm pretty sure that we will do that, not even in 12 months. I hope that it will happen in 10 months. So just, I will keep you guys posted, and we will spread the news. So definitely the global expansion, it's one of the highest priority. The second priority, of course, is connected with the regulations. So we already follow a lot of regulations connected with KYC, means know your customer rules, or AML, so anti-money laundering. Now we are in the process of getting FCA license in UK, so we will also be regulated in UK, and we will passport that license to all European countries. Also, we just want to talk with the governments in every country and discuss how together we can actually make it work. So what kind of rules we should follow. We will change our system if it will be needed. Just we need to understand what are the requirements here. And of course, the third, last but not least, thing, it's about the education. So still we see that it's a huge mess in media, in social media, for example, and people read a lot of different informations about the crypto, about ICO, about everything, and it's confusing. So we would like to actually educate people and help them understand how it works, and thanks to that they will be able to make proper investment decisions. Okay, so for now we are profitable, so we don't need additional money. But of course our plans are quite huge. So it's possible, I'm not saying no, so we still discuss with couple of investors, but you have to remember that in our portfolio we already have a big names like Naspers, which is one of the biggest company on the world and owns in his portfolio like payment solutions, etc. So maybe we will just think about raising more money from existing investors. But as I mentioned, for now, it's not the goal. We are already profitable, so we don't think about it. But who knows what future will bring, sorry.